Excellent. And the other big story, if you look at the BBC, in any case, is the Paradise Papers. This is another ICIJ investigation following on from the Panama Papers. This is, I think, is some vain, pathetic attempt to reinvigorate the whole global taxation situation.
Look at this, Mike. They've even got a logo. They branded it. They've got a beautiful look for this Paradise Papers. It almost seems like a new TV miniseries.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, remember, this is being run through the ICIJ. Let's have a look at the ICIJ. They produced a lovely little snap view, which gives us a summary of all the key points. And who is right on the first slide? Well, of course, Trump, Russia. Russiagate.
Oh, I see.
Trump and Russia. It's pathetic. So let's have a run through this. So apparently a trove of 13.4 million records exposes the secret dealings and offshore interests of more than 120 politicians and world leaders, including the Queen, including the offshore activities of 13 advisors, major donors, and members of President Donald J. Trump's administration. Right, let's go on. They've even got the Russian dolls. So there we go. So this is the leaked documents show that U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross benefits from business ties to Vladimir Putin's inner circle. This is the most disgusting fake news. The man has a few shares in a Russian oil company.
What? No, I heard he has a share in a company that has a Russian company as a client. Isn't that what the BBC reported? I don't know if he has shares himself. Anyway, whatever it is.
It's nonsense, right?
It's tenuous.
Tenuous doesn't even come close to describing
best.
it. Yeah. There's a small group of people who are not equally subject to the laws of the rest of us, and that's on purpose, according to Brooks Harrington. Well, that's good. As I said, the Queen is involved, while the Queen's private estate, the Duchy of Lancaster, provides some details of its investments in UK property. It has never disclosed details of its offshore investments. So the Queen's the Queen's, let's face it, she is the biggest benefits cheat in the country. So it's hardly surprising that she's not paying her tax. But anyway, we move on. The leaked files show wealthy owners of private jets and yachts avoided taxes on their purchase of this stuff. So this is the standard of it, Patrick. It is top quality journalism.
Yeah, so was it the International Consortium for Investigative Journalism? This is as big of a joke as the Panama Papers. No, this is worse because they've sort of marketed it with this sort of sexy name, the Paradise Papers. I mean, what is this other than a distraction, Mike, from all the real things that are going on in the world? But it's not just that, is it, Mike?
No.
There's an agenda behind it.
No, but before we get onto the agenda, ICIJ worked with more than 380 journalists. 380 journalists on this, and this is the best they could do.
And this is the best.
Some tenuous links.
And some fake news and shares in a Russian company. Russian dolls. Great.
Yes.
Good work.
Our work is not yet done, however. Of course not. But so what is behind this, Patrick?
Well, besides The Guardian and the Scott Trust and all the sort of the great and the good, what's behind it is, it looks like they're
reinvigorating,
rejigging the call for a global tax regime, a global tax system.
Now look, there's a UK column article that seems to have been published in May 2013. Yeah, we seem to have predicted this, Patrick.
May 2013, yeah, that was a few years ago.
Yes.
And so this was before the Panama Papers. And so this was what came out of Bilderberg 2013. This is one of the sort of recognizable pieces of evidence that came out about what are the really big topics, what are the big moves that were coming out of this sort of globalist confab. And one of them was Google was running point on this as well. Do you remember a lot of people out there will remember this big outrage that Google wasn't paying its fair share back in 2013, and you had George Osborne and others running sort of middlemen between meetings back and forth, talking to Larry Schmidt and between the government and so forth. So what was all that? But Google being used as the sort of lightning rod, just like Starbucks or Uber or Amazon is used as this kind of a globalist lightning rod for people to sort of vent their outrage on. At the end of the day, Mike, they will move their corporate headquarters to anywhere on the planet where they can get a better deal. So it doesn't matter what sort of pressure you put on these people anyway. And let's face it, we need the jobs in Europe because we've outsourced all of our jobs to the Far East. So we need these companies to actually employ people, otherwise the government will have to put everybody on the dole. So we're caught in this kind of globalization conundrum, Mike. And so what would the governments like to do is to sort of find new ways to extract money from not the richest people, Mike, not the 0.1%, but from people who are normal wage earners internationally, and from the precariat class and others. Because anybody with money is going to be able to avoid paying tax. All the billionaires and multimillionaires will find an island, they will find an archipelago who will offer private banking, and they've been doing this for hundreds of years, and they will continue to do it. We can't afford to hire KPMG to rubber stamp our audits for our corporations, but big billionaires can. And so that's what's not really talked about right now in the whole uproar of the Panama Papers. Did anybody get hung out to dry on the Panama Papers? Did anybody get arrested?
No, nobody did. No.
Did anything come out of that great investigation by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists?
No. I think at the heart of this is that the internet has given people access to information in a way that they haven't had before, and there are more and more people accessing trusts and playing the multi-level limited company game and offshore company game, shell company game. That was something that was originally only for the global elites. It's now spread out to levels where the tax implications are at a point where they feel they have to take action. So you're absolutely right. The people at the top are going to find some other mechanism to continue to behave as exactly that they have been. But that section just below, which is lucrative enough that the tax income would be significant, they're the target for this.
And meanwhile, Google and Facebook, Twitter, and others have global monopolies in whole markets.
Yes.
So they've destroyed any concept of antitrust. And that's not being talked about by any of our elected representatives. And that's one of the biggest crimes right now today.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to end there today. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much to Marwa Osman for taking part in the first part of the program. Thank you for being here today, Patrick. We'll see you again next week. And we will be back at the same time tomorrow. If you like what we're doing, please consider helping us financially by taking out a membership or making a donation. It's much appreciated, and we do need your help. So thank you very much. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.